Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, guys. This is your girl, Mommy So True. Guys, it is so good to be here and take a few moments to talk to you because we are here together going through this healing journey and we've discovered some amazing truths. And today I want to share some truthful information about these gaslighters. Let's talk about gaslighting. Let's talk about how God is going to deal with these gaslighters. Thank you so much for being here. You are invited to subscribe if you are new here. Hit the notification bell so you're not missing those weekly videos, those weekly lives on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Guys, if you resonate with the words that are coming out of my mouth, share the content, like the video, and leave a comment. Man, we all in this community at some point have dealt with a serious gaslighter. If you've dealt with narcissists, you've dealt with gaslighting. Gaslighting, that term comes originally, I think there was some movie that's called Gaslighting, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, this goes back to really humans and how wicked they can be. Psychology tells us that gaslighting is a form of manipulation, and it is. It's basically when an abuser tries to deny you of your reality by manipulating you, telling you things and making you question your sanity. Also setting up an image for outsiders so that you become isolated and look like the bad guy. You become isolated, and then when it's time for you to tell your side of the story, no one is going to believe you because this gaslighter has been gaslighting people from the reality of what's really happening in their world. So you got these narcissistic moms and dads, you have these narcissistic husbands, wives, girlfriends, friends that outside they create this image. They have everyone believing they are something completely different. Typically it's a perfect image. Typically it's an image of they don't do wrong, they can't do wrong. They are just angels. Angels. And the reason for gaslighting is really three main reasons. Is to isolate their victims, is to make the victims dependent on them, because if they can trick you out of your reality, you will depend on theirs. A gaslighter will come up with ways to make you question what is really the truth, by making you believe and accept what they have created to be the truth. And the third reason is because they want to gain power and control. This is very evil. It's very wrong. And a lot of times, people who are gaslighters, they may not know they are. Most of the time, they know what they're doing. But God doesn't play like that. Whether you know what you're doing or you've done it so much to now you don't know when you're doing it, wrong is wrong. Wrong is wrong. And God has a mighty way of dealing with people who gaslight. You guys know I'm going to go straight to the Bible because I'm telling y'all, this is my life guide. I can't do anything. I can't validate none of this truth without going straight to the source. Because this has been here. It's been happening. Just like a narcissist. We have someone in the Bible named Saul who will gaslight people and even try to gaslight God. This is how much they seek control. This is how arrogant and prideful and egotistical narcissists are. Gaslighting is just one of their tools of manipulation, but it's one of their biggest ones. It's a big one. To be a gaslighter means that you are a pathological liar. You believe in your own lies and you want everybody to believe it with you. And if they don't, they are a problem. They become hateful towards those who don't fall into their gaslighting, who don't allow them to distort their reality. They eventually will flee from you, because the demons that they are, when you're not feeding them, when you starve them, they will run away. They will run off. See, the Bible took me to 1 Samuel 15. The verse 3 is really where it started, where God gave instructions to Saul. He specifically said, I want you to go and destroy this land, these people, take everything. The donkeys, everything, right? And you can go and read it for yourself, and I will put it in the video for those of you who want to read along with me. But he said, now go attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put to death men and women, children and infants, cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys. This is specific instructions. Saul and the army ended up sparing Agag and the best of the sheep and the cattle, the fat, the cows, the lambs, everything that was good. They were unwilling to destroy completely, but everything that they despised and was weak, they totally destroyed. That's down in 1 Samuel 15, the verse 9. And so God immediately is like, I regret that I made Saul king. Many of you know narcissists that are in leadership positions there, but they're unfit to be leaders. You know narcissists that have power positions, but they're unfit. They're using their power to destroy people. They're using their power to gaslight folks, take money from them, those pastors. They're using people for their benefit. That is a gaslighter. Doing what you want. Just because a narcissist is in leadership, in church, has money, in a good position in their career, it doesn't mean that they deserve where they're at. And God has a special way of dealing with these people, because there's a word called humble. And anyone who is not willing to humble themselves, be honest, be truthful, be obedient, there's a price to pay. God deals with these gaslighters. God deals with these narcissists. And some of you can attest to it. That narcissist may be in leadership, may have this, that, and the third. But there are aspects of their life that screams, God is not there. There are things in their life that shows God is not there. They don't have any favor. Matter of fact, they're stuck where they're at. In spite of the money, in spite of the position, in spite of the leadership, they're miserable and completely unhappy because demons are torturing them. You're a gaslighter. You're a liar. You have demonic influence. You are being, led by Satan. Putting people against each other, because to gaslight, what you also do is you triangulate people. You put and pin folks against each other. You pull people in, you pull that one in, you create different stories you create a different story with everyone. It's a very sick and evil way to be. And God is not a God who lets evil and deceit get away. God said, I regret that I made Saul king, because he has turned away from me and has not carried out my instructions. Verse 11. And then Saul lies and says, blessed are you of the Lord. I have performed the commandment of the Lord. Verse 13. He continues to lie to Samuel, because Samuel cried about the fact that Saul betrayed God. He was like, oh my goodness, this is wrong. You don't understand how God is going to get you for this. This is wrong. He lied and said, but I did obey the Lord. I went on the mission the Lord assigned me. I completely destroyed the Amalekites and brought back Agag, their king. The soldiers took sheep and cattle from the plunder and the best of what was devoted to God in order to sacrifice them to the Lord your God at Gilgal. He basically blamed his soldiers for not following the instructions. He said, I did what God wanted me to do, but the soldiers took the sheep and the cattle. Just like a narcissist, just like a gaslighter, throwing rocks and hiding their hands. I did my part, but I'm going to blame everybody else for falling into my manipulation. It's everybody else's fault. I'm going to project what I actually did on them. I'm going to find somebody to blame because I'm too much of a coward to admit my wrongdoing. I'm too much of a coward to admit that I did lie and that I did disobey God. So I'm going to point fingers and blame everybody else. Doesn't this remind you so much of that gaslighting mother or father, maybe even siblings that you've dealt with? They're professionals at what they do. They are professionals at what they do, but God is much bigger and so much more realer than any manipulative narcissist. If you go to 1 Peter chapter 5, the verse 5 through 6, it says, God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Therefore, humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. God resists the proud. The proud is the narcissist, the egotistical, prideful, gaslighting, manipulative narcissist. Too prideful to be honest, too prideful to be loyal and faithful, too prideful to take their role as a husband or wife serious, too prideful to be, a good mother or father, more so worried about their image, just like Saul. Saul refused to tell the truth and be honest because he didn't want the people to take his kingship away. I rather keep gaslighting and lying because I want to control the people. I already have their minds. They already worship me. That gaslighter, that narcissist is more interested in being worshiped by their children. That's why their children are just tools, pawns in the game. They exploit their kids with no care. It's all about image, control. So much to the point where they don't know God. They can talk about God. They can say God's name. They can preach about it. But when push comes to shove, God is not inside of you when you are so egotistical that what God tells you to do, you can't even do it. That narcissist believes they're called, but they can't follow the real instructions being given to them. So they are in the churches sinning. They are hiding behind the pulpits. They're hiding behind Bibles and scriptures. But God says it clearly right there. And in so many other passages, he says, I avoid people like that. That means I will not show no grace, no mercy, no favor. I am going to let them enjoy the misery that they are. I am going to let them dwell and soak in their emptiness. And as time goes on, the world will see how empty they are. For many, as they age, you do see it. Things happen in their life that exposes it. Things get taken away from them. They get stripped down from certain positions. They lose big amounts of money, big deals and businesses and partnership. God takes his hand away because, like he said, I regret making you king. I regret making you king. For God to regret ever giving you anything, showing you any favor, that's a big deal. That's not something to play on. Don't take that lightly. This person can deceive all these flying monkeys. They can have all these enablers, but God is paying attention. God sees it, God knows it, and God takes his hand away and avoids them. And that's why when you thrive and move on humbly, you become unbothered. You realize, man, I need to just focus on me, remain the unbothered empath that I am. Focus on being chosen and walking my calling. Look at the purpose behind the pain. Humble myself and not even worry about their karma and revenge and all of that. I'm leaving it to God. I'm letting go. I'm letting God, because God knows. God is truly the one in control. And maybe you forgot that because you dealt with this demon. You dealt with the father of lies. So maybe you forgot that. So I'm here to remind you, God got this. God is dealing with them. God will deal with them. You don't need to see it. You don't need to pay attention to it. But his word has confirmed that for us, Thriver. A gaslighter will love reminding you. Gaslighters like to say certain things. You've heard the narcissist say things like, oh, you're bad at remembering stuff. You don't remember it, because they want you to remember their version, their narrative. You have those narcissistic family members, parents that try to tell you that what you remember about how they abused you is incorrect. That is gaslighting. You're too sensitive. Oh, you're doing too much. You're overly dramatic. Oh, trying to make you doubt how you feel, trying to tell you how your emotional well-being doesn't matter, how your feelings just doesn't matter. Oh, I never said that. Oh, I never did that. Oh, you're crazy. These are famous words of gaslighters because they like to mock you. But one thing about it, something powerful you must walk away with from this video is they can mock you all day, but they cannot mock God. You cannot mock God. You can try to trick me and make me feel like I'm the crazy one, or I've done something wrong to you, or I'm the problem. They'll even call you the devil. You can mock me all day. You can take and try to devalue me all day. You can try to twist my words all day. You can blame, shift, and project all of your nastiness on me all you want to, but you cannot mock the God that I serve. Because God says it right here, Galatians 6, verse 7 through 8. This is the King James Version that I've been sharing with you guys on the video. It says, "Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption." That is the narcissist. They do reap corruption. If you know, you know. Everything about their life and their existence screams and symbolizes corruption. God says, "But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting." And that is you, chosen one. That is you, Thriver. That is you. They will forever reap corruption because they are so in love with themselves and so after their flesh and so after worldly things and worldly possessions, so consumed in success and wealth and money and power and control that it will ultimately be their downfall. God's word does not lie. God is not a liar. Just sit back and watch this demon collapse, because they all do. They all do. So keep thriving. Keep thriving. Keep going. God is with you. God is against them. We are victorious. We are winners. We are the champions, and we will remain that way. God bless you for watching this video. Thank you so much for taking this time, this moment. I hope you have a blessed and a wonderful day. Keep thriving. Much love. If you need to speak with me, work with me on recovering post-narcissistic abuse, take your life back. Take your power back. Take control of who you are. Remember who you are and whose you are. contact me. Information is in the description box, along with other information to follow me on other platforms. I will see you soon. Thank you so much. Keep thriving, keep glowing, and stay true. Bye, guys.